And welcome to Boost Your Brain Power. I'm your host, Dr. Eric Kaplan. Hope everyone had a great New Year's, starting January on a good note and improving your health and your well-being and boosting your brain power. I think a lot of people these days are starting to get into health. When I started, I was 13 years old. It wasn't really a thing where people would just go to the doctor, listen to whatever the doctor said, and follow instructions. Now, with the internet and social media, people are learning alternative ways to improve their health. And rather than just treating symptoms with medicine and fixing problems with surgery, people are looking into more holistic, integrative ways where they can work on prevention and not necessarily just put band-aids over the problem. We always want to get to the root cause. And that's what I figured out as a young age, luckily. When I was 13 years old, I was very sick. I had bronchitis. I was overweight. I had poor sleep, low energy, brain fog, really bad acne. I didn't perform well in school or sports. I had to be put on antibiotics and steroids by my pediatrician to help with my bronchitis. The steroids and the antibiotics made me more sick than the bronchitis. I had bad stomach problems and pains and nausea, and I was literally throwing up over 10 times a day. Any little activity would cause me to throw up. And I thought to myself at 13, how is taking this medicine that's making me more sick than ever, making me throw up all the time, the cure for my bronchitis? It didn't make any sense. This was not me getting healthier. This was me getting worse and worse and worse. So what I decided to do, thankfully, my dad was going on a health kick at the time and invited me to a seminar, and I decided to join him. And at that seminar, I learned about dairy products and how dairy can cause a lot of congestion in the lungs. So I thought, wow, I have bronchitis. I can't breathe. My lungs are congested. Every morning I would wake up with lots of phlegm. So after the seminar, I eliminated dairy. No more pizza, no more cheese, no more milk, or yogurt, creamy sauces, or ice cream. Loved all that stuff, but I loved my health more. Worth eating foods that tasted good, but made me feel bad. When you're thinking about your health, you always have to measure the risk versus the reward. And to me, the risk, which was health, was not worth the reward, which is a temporary few minutes of eating something that tastes good. It wasn't worth for the rest of the day for me to be miserable. So I quit dairy, everything. And within a month, I cured my own bronchitis. But not only did I cure my own bronchitis, my acne went away. I lost all my fat. I became really thin. My brain started functioning at a higher level. I started getting better grades. I started performing better in sports. I had more strength, had more energy. The commercials will have you think that milk gives you strength and is good for your bones, but that's just a marketing gimmick. There's no evidence that shows drinking milk will actually increase your bone density. In fact, much of the research proves the opposite. People who have osteoporosis usually do have dairy products in their diet. So there's just, a marketing gimmick. They hire these celebrities with their milk mustaches to make you think that milk does a body good. But the reason it doesn't do a body good is because you're not a cow. And the milk is biologically made for cows. And cows have a different stomach than humans do. They have a different digestive system, different enzymes. It's completely different. Our bodies are made to break down human milk, breast milk, when we're babies. Our bodies are not made to break down cow's milk. And they're not made to break down sheep milk or goat milk. The only milk you should have is human milk, and that's when you're a baby. Adults don't need milk, and especially they don't need milk from a different species. It doesn't make any sense. It's not natural, and it's not biological. So if you really want to improve your health, and you want to start with one thing in this new year, the first thing I would start with is to start to decrease milk and dairy products. Make the better choices. You don't need to add cheese. You can have your sandwich without cheese. You can have your salad without cheese, without ranch dressing or Caesar dressing, any creamy sauce. It's not that hard. You can have even ice cream, but that's made without milk. It's made just from frozen fruit with no added sugar and no dairy products. You can have smoothies without milk. You could just use water and ice. You can have cereal without milk. These days, they have so much. There's coconut milk and almond milk. Don't get stuff filled with sugar and other crap in it, though. But there's lots of replacements for dairy products these days. But don't even think like that. Just think that you're going to eat real food from the earth, fruits and vegetables. And I have no problem with you eating fish if you want, or poultry or dairy or meat, red meat. Not dairy, though. Dairy is completely unnatural. But when you do eat fruits and vegetables, make sure they have organic, so they're not full of pesticides and herbicides. If you're trying to save a few bucks, you can buy food that has a large peel, like a watermelon or an avocado or a banana or an orange. The chemicals aren't as likely to get into the fruit because of the large covering on the outer edge. So if you're trying to save a few bucks and not buy everything organic, make sure you at least buy the stuff where you eat the skin, the whole fruit, like a strawberry or a blueberry or an apple. That you buy organic, and the stuff that where you don't eat the peel, like a banana or cantaloupe or honeydew, that you can get non-organic. And just make sure you eat all the colors of the rainbow. If you eat all the colors of the rainbow, then you're getting all your nutrients. You never need a multivitamin. So many people take these multivitamins and think they're healthy. First of all, a lot of the multivitamins that you're getting, CVS or Vitamin Shop or GNC or Whole Foods, they're full of sugar and food dyes and impurities and contaminants and fillers and stuff that you don't need. It doesn't make sense to take a multivitamin, especially if you're eating all the colors of the rainbow. What does make sense is to do proper blood work, analyze all your vitamins, see, are you deficient in A or C or B12 or folate, or if you have iron deficiency or whatever it may be. Maybe you have a thyroid problem. Maybe you have an issue with stomach acid. Maybe you have inflammation. So you got to do thorough blood work, figure out where your weaknesses are. And then if you can't fix it by doing your own thing, you can supplement, but only quality products and only stuff that you actually need. So nobody needs a multivitamin because there's nobody that's deficient in all these vitamins in America, especially because we're overfed and we have so much food. So we just got to check your blood work and see if you're deficient. if you're deficient, like when I do my blood work, I was deficient in vitamin D. So I'm supplementing with vitamin D. But other than that, I don't need to take anything. My calcium levels are good. My iron levels are good. My B12 levels are good. And I don't eat a lot of meat. And you don't have to eat meat to get good B12 levels. So I have vegetarians that say, oh, I'm just going to take B12 because I'm a vegetarian. Well, check your blood work. See if you actually are B12 deficient. And if you are, what's the reason behind that? Maybe you don't have enough stomach acid. It's not necessarily the food you're eating, but it could be you don't absorb properly. So we see a lot of patients with this problem. It's called hypochlorhydria. They don't absorb their nutrients properly. It's not enough stomach acid. And people who've taken Tums and Rolaids and antacids because they've been diagnosed with acid reflux, taking these antacids can be very dangerous for your digestive system. And not only your digestive system, but your immune system. Because if you don't have enough stomach acid, then you're not going to kill off the bacteria. You're not going to kill off the viruses and the worms and the parasites and the mold and the yeast and all this bad stuff that you're exposed to. So not only does the acid help to break down the food, but it's also a good defense for your immune system to kill off the bad stuff. Because a lot of people, they're going to get these bacteria and viruses from their mouth. That's why they always say with COVID, don't touch your mouth, because you touch your mouth, then you swallow it, and then it gets into your stomach. If you don't have the stomach acid, then the virus can multiply. And then if you have inflammation, then it can exit out your stomach, get into your bloodstream, and attack your brain, attack your lungs, your skin, your heart. So what we have to do is make sure that you have good stomach acid so you can absorb your nutrients and you have a strong immune system. And one of the ways to prevent getting acid reflux is to get off dairy. So like we said, if there's going to be one thing that you do, it's to get off dairy. That's the first thing to really get you on a good health kick this year. Will get you stronger. It will boost your immune system. It'll reduce your inflammation. It'll help with your digestion. It'll help with your skin. It'll help with your energy. It's a no-brainer. Okay, so make that a goal. If not to eliminate, at least to decrease cheese, dairy, and all these creamy sauces, yogurt, sour cream, butter. It all comes from the cow's udder, and that isn't digestible by the human body. Hope you're learning a lot. We'll continue this conversation when we come back.